Yo, Prime members, so check this out. We are here to talk about our favorite thing in the world, and that is Amazon Prime.
That's right. We all have different interests, but there's one thing that brings us together: Prime.
As members ourselves, we found ways to maximize our Prime benefits to get the most out of our passions.
From fast and free shipping, streaming of movies and music, and even exclusive deals and discounts, Prime has it all.
And what's great is that you can use all of these services to elevate your hobbies and interests.
Whether you're a bookworm, a fitness fanatic, or a gaming guru, Prime has something for everyone. I promise you that.
So go ahead, explore and indulge in all that Prime has to offer. We promise you won't be disappointed.
Time to get more out of whatever you're into. Prime. And that's that on that.
What's up, everybody? You are now listening to the Success Playbook Podcast, where we talk about pop culture, life and career success, and of course, we're going to talk about who got dunked on the night before. I'm your host, Chanelle S. Reynolds, and I've been in the sports industry for several years. My goal is to take what I've learned from years of dominating the sports industry as a Black woman to help my listeners defy the odds and level up in life and career. Now, let's dig into this week's episode.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Success Playbook Podcast, your one-stop shop for sports, Black culture, and life and career hacks. I'm going to ask that you please do me a favor and take a moment to like, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review for the Success Playbook Podcast. Now, if you're new here, then you know that we love to elevate Black voices in sports. You know that this is not your typical sports podcast. No, we use sports as a tool to tell stories about how you can defy the odds and achieve success in spite of things like failure, adversity, and taking L's. We do this by sharing the stories of the underrepresented and elevating Black voices in sports. I'm your host once again, Chanelle S. Reynolds, aka Sports Bay, aka the Queen of Sports Podcasting, aka the Queen of Sports Business. And today is a quick huddle episode. That means that you'll get to run the play in a short amount of time. I'm going to give you game. I'm going to put you on the game. And again, I'm going to do it in a very short amount of time. Now, this episode is very special to me. It is very near and dear to my heart because in this episode, you are going to get a sneak peek from actually the whole reason why I was in Africa. Now, a lot of you, if you follow me on social media, you know that I was in Africa this past March of 2023. And a lot of people don't know because I didn't really make it public on my Instagram nor TikTok yet. I was actually in Africa on business. Yes, I was in the safaris and I was living it up with the lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, yes, I was living it up and visiting Mandela's house. But what I was actually there for, what actually brought me to Africa was a speaking engagement. In Africa, I not only crossed over from being a national speaker to international speaker, but I crossed over from being a TED Talk speaker to a 2-time TED Talk speaker. So, without any delay, you are going to hear a sneak peek of my most recent TED Talk, which took place at the University of South Africa by way of Johannesburg, South Africa. The title of this TED Talk is called The Success Playbook, of course. And I, during this talk about how women can navigate spaces, specifically in sports. How women can navigate professional spaces, corporate spaces. However, I use my background in sport to tell that story. So I'm really excited about it, and I am happy to share.
And action.
So I remember riding down Market Street in Wilmington, Delaware. If you're not familiar with Wilmington, Delaware, it's okay because a lot of people aren't. No, on a serious note, Wilmington, Delaware is a powerhouse full of corporations, large banks, credit industries, you name it, we got it. So I was riding down Market Street with my mother. She was driving, I was in the passenger seat. And I saw a lot of men with their charcoal gray, tailored, expensive suits on, walking to grab their lunch. And I thought to myself, don't get too comfortable, because I'm coming for your job one day. Now, don't ask me why I was so competitive as a 12-year-old. I have no idea. But I always knew from a child I was going to have very big impact in corporate America. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chanelle S. Reynolds, and I am in the sports industry, and I've been a professional in the sport industry for the past 10 years. I've always believed that anything that I put my mind to, I can do. I've always believed that. However, as a Black woman navigating the professional sport industry, I easily found that This career path is not always going to be easy. Navigation is not going to always be easy. So throughout this talk, I'm going to walk you through some of my journey. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about life lessons that I've learned along the way in hopes that you can apply some of these lessons to your respective industries. I'm going to introduce you to my personal success playbook to help you navigate throughout the workplace as a woman. The first lesson that I learned was guarding your empire. I remember being in a leadership meeting one day, and I was making some really good points, if I do say so myself. But I had this one coworker that made it their point to belittle everything I was saying in the meeting. I was upset, but more so I was hurt. Why would they do something like this to me? That situation lived in my head rent-free for the entire day. So much so that I couldn't think about anything else. So much so that I woke up the next day with that situation still on my mind.
Yo, Prime members, so check this out. We are here to talk about our favorite thing in the world, and that is Amazon Prime.
That's right. We all have different interests, but there's one thing that brings us together: Prime.
As members ourselves, we found ways to maximize our Prime benefits to get the most out of our passions.
From fast and free shipping, streaming of movies and music, and even exclusive deals and discounts, Prime has it all.
And what's great is that you can use all of these services to elevate your hobbies and interests.
Whether you're a bookworm, a fitness fanatic, or a gaming guru, Prime has something for everyone. I promise you that.
So go ahead, explore and indulge in all that Prime has to offer. We promise you won't be disappointed.
Time to get more out of whatever you're into. Prime. And that's that on that.
So after I woke up and I was picking out clothes for the next day, replaying that image in my mind, practicing how I was going to get smart to that coworker the next time I saw. I'm just joking. Y'all know how we do though. We do practice our comebacks. But as I was picking out my clothes, I had an epiphany. I thought to myself, my brain is $1 million empire. Giving negativity my piece would be a bad investment. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. My brain is $1 million empire. So for every second that I spent giving this negative situation my piece, I was losing money. I was missing out on potential opportunity. I could have been thinking about my next book or my next podcast or my next strategy at work, but instead I allowed this thing to overpower me. So the first lesson that I learned was to guard my empire, AKA my mind, my moneymaker. The second lesson that I learned was to be bold, be confident, be you. You see, as Black women navigating in the corporate space, the conversation often comes up of us having the ability to show up as our authentic selves. Let me give you an example. Oftentimes the conversation has come up if, we can wear our natural hair to work. And as you can see, I don't subscribe to that foolishness, but I wasn't always this way. I wasn't always bold enough to wear my natural hair into work. I remember I really wanted braids because I was continuously pressing my hair out at the time. And this was a big thing. It was a mental battle. But I had another epiphany. I thought to myself, if this company doesn't want Chanelle S. Reynolds with braids, then they don't want Chanelle S. Reynolds who can generate multiple millions of dollars of revenue for their company. They also don't want industry thought leader, strategic thinker, corporate baddie, Chanelle. Okay, yes, y'all get the point. I had an epiphany that showing up as my authentic self was my superpower. And more importantly, showing up as my authentic self allowed the next Black girl behind me to show up as her authentic self. My last lesson that I learned is my ultimate favorite, the art of taking L's. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, an L is an embarrassment, some sort of adversity, or taking some sort of public loss. So I trademarked the term, the art of taking L's, to show individuals that you can use L's to your advantage. In fact, your experience with taking an L gives you a competitive advantage that your neighbor doesn't have. When I was first trying to break into this industry, I was getting so much rejection. I was hearing no after no after no. However, people see Chanelle S. Reynolds, the big-time sports professional today, But they wasn't checking for me when I was Chanelle S. Reynolds, your local shoe girl at the mall, with the bachelor's degree. This timeline in my life was a period where I felt the most rejection. However, during this time period, something was happening to my faith. It was getting built up. Something was happening in which I was developing a greater grit than I ever had before. On my lunch breaks, I would go to revise my resume. And on my free time, I would go to networking events and shake hands with the movers and shakers. And it was this time that I was really developing the characteristics that was going to drive me to be successful where I am today. So I wouldn't trade that opportunity for the world. That L, that loss became a lesson. Lesson number 3. So, ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with these 3 lessons that has helped me to navigate the corporate space. So I ask you to always guard your $1 million empire, be confident, and take your L's. Thank you.
The Enhanced American Express Business Gold Card is designed to take your business further. It's packed with features and benefits like flexible spending capacity that adapts to your business, 24/7 support from a business card specialist trained to help with your business needs, and so much more. The Amex Business Gold Card, now smarter and more flexible. That's the powerful backing of American Express. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/businessgoldcard.